Let me hit you with something uncomfortable right out of the gate. If you're in your 20s and you're investing right now, there's a very real chance you're doing it backwards. Not because you're dumb, not because you're lazy, but because no one ever explained the order. See, most people think wealth is about what you invest in. Stocks or crypto, real estate or business, ETFs or individual picks. That's the wrong question. The real question is when. Because investing in the wrong thing at the wrong time doesn't just slow you down. It quietly locks you into stress for the next decade. And the scary part? Most people won't realize it until they're 35. Burn out and saying things like, "Man, I did everything right." Why doesn't it feel like it worked? This video is for my 23-year-old self. And if you're watching this right now, odds are, it's for you too. By the end of this video, you'll understand why most people feel behind even when they invest, the exact order wealthy people follow, and how to stop confusing motion with progress. Stick with me, because the last step is the one almost nobody reaches, and it changes how you see money forever. Let's get into it. Let's start with the lie we all grew up believing. Start investing early and you'll be rich. Sounds reasonable, yeah? Almost wholesome, like advice your uncle gives you at Christmas after 2 beers. But here's the thing. Early investing only works if your foundation is solid. Most people skip that part. They graduate. They get a job. They open a brokerage account. They buy some ETFs, maybe a bit of crypto, just to feel alive, you know? And for a while it feels good. You feel responsible, mature, financially woke. But then life shows up. Car breaks down. Rent goes up. You lose a job. Or worse, you hate your job but can't quit. Suddenly those investments don't feel empowering. They feel like pressure. And that's the first signal you invested out of order. Here's the brutal truth, said calmly and clearly. If investing makes you anxious, it's not helping you yet. Wealth is supposed to buy peace, not panic. But most people aren't building wealth. They're building financial fragility with a fancy label. They have money invested, but no emergency fund. They're long-term investors, but one paycheck away from stress. That's like building a house by buying designer furniture first. You've got a beautiful couch, a Swiss minimalist lamp, a standing desk that screams, "I'm productive, mate." But there's no foundation, no walls, no roof. One storm, and it all falls apart. And here's the worst part. The internet rewards this behavior. Flashy returns, viral success stories. Turn $500 into $50K nonsense. No one posts. Here's how I built stability for 5 years and didn't panic once. Because that doesn't trend. But that's how wealth actually works. So let's fix the order. The 5 stages of real wealth. This is the framework. 5 stages. Each one builds on the last. Skip a step, and the whole thing wobbles. Like IKEA. Furniture assembled at 2 a.m. with no instructions. Most people try to jump straight to stage 4. We're not doing that. We're doing this clean, calm, and intentional, Norwegian style. Stage 1. Survival and stability. Stage 1 is not about investing. It's about not panicking. This stage answers one question. Can I survive a normal life punch without losing my mind? If the answer is no, investing comes later. Stage 1 looks like knowing where your money goes, paying your bills without stress, having 3 to 6 months of emergency cash, eliminating high-interest debt. And yes, I know what you're thinking. But alive. Inflation is eating my savings. True, but forced liquidation eats your future faster. Selling investments during a crisis locks in losses. Having cash buys you time. And time is leverage. Here's the pattern interrupt. If you don't have an emergency fund, your investments are not investments. They're hostages. This stage is boring. British level boring. But it's powerful. Because once you're stable, your nervous system relaxes, and relaxed people make better decisions. Once stage 1 is locked, we move on. Stage 2, skill and income leverage. This is where everything flips. Your biggest investment in your 20s is not the stock market. It's your ability to earn. Let me say that cleaner. A 30% income increase beats a 10% market return every single year. Yet most people obsess over which ETF, which app, which strategy, while ignoring the obvious lever, earning power. This stage is about skills that compound, career leverage, business capability, sales, tech, AI, communication. Think Aussie practical mindset here. If you want more fuel in the tank, earn more fuel. When your income rises, you save faster, you invest more, you stress less. This is the exciting stage. This is where risk belongs. Because if you mess up, you're still young. You recover. And here's the Swiss clean insight. Wealth is built through margin, not magic. Higher income, wider margin. Once income is growing, now investing actually works. Stage 3, boring compounding. Welcome to the stage everyone skips, and then regrets skipping. Stage 3 is boring wealth, index funds, broad diversification, automated investing, long time horizon, no adrenaline, no dopamine hits, no checking charts every morning like it's the weather in London. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If investing feels exciting, you're probably doing it wrong. Real wealth is built quietly, like a Canadian winter, slow, relentless, unavoidable. This stage is about consistency, not brilliance. Most people don't lose money because they chose the wrong fund. They lose money because they couldn't sit still. This stage trains patience, and patience is the skill that separates invested from wealthy. Once this is running on autopilot, now, and only now, do you unlock the fun stuff. Stage 4, asymmetric bets. This is where everyone wants to start. Crypto, startups, angel investing, real estate flips, high risk, high upside plays. And here's the rule, tattoo this mentally. Risk is earned through stability. This stage is about controlled risk, small downside, big upside, long time horizon. You allocate a portion at maybe 5–15%, and you assume it could go to zero. Not rent money, not emergency money, not I hope this works money. This is intentional excitement. German level clarity here. Risk isn't the enemy. Unmanaged risk is. Do this right, and stage 4 accelerates wealth without threatening your base. And then we reach the final stage, the one most people never talk about. Stage 5, ownership and freedom. This is the end game. This is where money stops being the goal and starts being the tool. At this stage, you invest for time, optionality, control. Ownership matters more than optimization. You think in businesses, equity, cash flow systems. Not what's the best return this year, but what kind of life do I want? This stage looks boring from the outside, but feels incredible on the inside, because you're not trapped. And here's the wild part. Most people never reach this stage. Not because they're incapable, but because they never followed the order. Here's the truth that ties it all together. The biggest mistake isn't bad investing. It's investing too early in the wrong things. When you follow the right order, fear turns into calm. Excitement becomes intentional. Urgency becomes focused. You stop reacting to money and start designing your future. So let me ask you this, honestly. Are you building wealth? Or just hoping it works out? Because hope is not a strategy, order is. If this video clicked for you, if you're ready to stop guessing and start building real momentum, I watched the next video on your screen. The boring money rules that actually make you wealthy. It breaks down the unsexy habits that quietly create insane financial freedom over time. Click it now. Your future self. They'll thank you for it.